Building floating cities on Jupiter isn't just a flight of fancy. It's an audacious whisper of humanity's future, a testament to our relentless drive to push beyond the familiar and claim a foothold in the most impossible places. For a moment, let's step beyond the cozy blue marble we call home and gaze upon the true king of our solar system, the colossal Jupiter. It's a world of swirling, psychedelic clouds, a vast gas behemoth that dwarfs all other planets combined, a place utterly without solid ground. This isn't a planet you land on, it's a planet you fall into, an endless ocean of gas and crushing pressure, stretching for tens of thousands of kilometers. Yet, within its terrifying beauty, a peculiar window opens, a sliver of atmospheric conditions that, against all odds, might just be tolerable. Jupiter, you see, is mostly hydrogen and helium. Deep within its churning atmosphere, the temperature and pressure rise dramatically. But there's a sweet spot, a specific band where the pressure is roughly equivalent to Earth's sea level, and the temperature is surprisingly temperate, even a balmy 25 degrees Celsius, thanks to the planet's internal heat. This is the realm where our dreams of Jovian cities would take root, not on a solid crust, but suspended, eternally adrift in a colossal sea of gas. Think of it less as a building and more as a gigantic, perpetually airborne submarine navigating an ocean of hydrogen. The first and perhaps most immediate challenge to even conceiving such a project is Jupiter's gravity. It's a monster, 2.5 times stronger than Earth's. Everything you bring, everything you build, weighs 2.5 times more. Every structural beam, every piece of equipment, every human body would be under immense strain. Imagine a structure needing to support itself while constantly pulling against this colossal gravitational force. The materials alone would need to be revolutionary, far beyond our current capabilities. We're talking about substances with unimaginable tensile strength and lightness, perhaps complex carbon allotropes or entirely new metamaterials that could defy the planet's immense pull without collapsing under their own enhanced weight. Even if we had such materials, launching them from Earth to Jupiter would be an engineering feat dwarfed only by the construction itself. But let's assume for a moment that we possess the ability to create structures that laugh in the face of Jupiter's gravity. How do these cities stay afloat? The answer lies in the very gases that compose Jupiter itself. Hydrogen, being the lightest element, could be heated within vast balloon-like envelopes, making them buoyant in the surrounding, denser Jovian atmosphere. Imagine a fleet of colossal hot air balloons, not fabric and wicker, but titanic shells of advanced composites, kilometers across, filled with superheated hydrogen. These aren't just balloons, they're entire cities, self-contained ecosystems encased in a protective shell, bobbing gently in Jupiter's perpetual twilight. Or perhaps we use an even more radical concept, vacuum balloons. If you could build an envelope strong enough to withstand the external pressure and maintain a perfect vacuum inside, it would be lighter than any gas, providing immense lift. But the structural demands for such a vacuum chamber, especially one the size of a city, would be astronomical, requiring materials that could resist atmospheric pressure trying to crush it inwards without adding prohibitive weight. The true killer, however, isn't gravity or pressure, it's radiation. Jupiter is a cosmic radiation oven wrapped in a magnetic field so powerful it would fry unshielded electronics and humans alike in a matter of days. Its magnetosphere accelerates charged particles to relativistic speeds, creating radiation belts orders of magnitude more intense than Earth's Van Allen belts. A floating city on Jupiter would need an impenetrable shield, a protective bubble that could deflect or absorb this constant barrage of high-energy protons and electrons. We're talking meters of dense material, perhaps solid hydrogen if it could be contained and engineered, or incredibly thick layers of lead, water, or even active magnetic fields generated by the city itself. This shielding would add immense weight, further complicating the buoyancy problem. It would also need to be constantly monitored, as any breach would spell doom for the inhabitants. Consider the sheer volume of material needed. A protective shell may be tens of meters thick around an entire city. This isn't just a wall. It's a significant portion of the city's mass dedicated solely to survival against an invisible, relentless enemy. Then there are the storms. Oh, the storms. Jupiter is home to the Great Red Spot, a colossal anticyclonic storm larger than Earth, raging for centuries. But it's not the only one. The entire planet is a symphony of violent atmospheric phenomenon, lightning bolts thousands of times more powerful than anything seen on Earth, winds that scream at hundreds of kilometers per hour, and ammonia ice clouds that could shear apart any unprepared structure. How would a city navigate or withstand such a maelstrom? Perhaps they would be mobile, equipped with propulsion systems to steer clear of the worst weather, much like a ship avoids hurricanes on Earth. But these ships would be cities, slow to turn, immense in their inertia. Or perhaps they would be built to withstand, anchored by unseen forces, designed with aerodynamic profiles that allow the winds to flow around them, their outer shells shrugging off the most furious blasts. The structural integrity would need to be beyond anything we've ever conceived, capable of absorbing and dissipating energies that would shatter steel. Now, let's talk about actually living there. Air, water, food, the essentials. Jupiter's atmosphere is primarily hydrogen and helium, with trace amounts of methane, ammonia, and water vapor. Breathing this is a non-starter. Our cities would need entirely closed-loop life support systems. Oxygen would have to be generated, perhaps by reacting atmospheric elements or, more likely, by bringing in ice from outer solar system moons and comets. Nitrogen, crucial for a breathable atmosphere, would also need to be imported or synthesized. Water, another precious resource, would likely be sourced from the vast reserves on Jupiter's icy moons, like Europa or Ganymede, requiring regular, dangerous supply runs through the radiation belts. Food production would be a monumental task. No sunlight penetrates deep into Jupiter's atmosphere. Cities would rely on massive internal hydroponic or aeroponic farms powered by artificial light. This means a tremendous energy demand. Where does that energy come from? Solar panels are largely ineffective so far from the sun. Nuclear fusion, if perfected, would be an ideal solution, providing vast amounts of clean energy. Fission reactors are also a possibility, but the waste disposal and safety concerns in a closed environment would be extreme. Perhaps the cities could harness the very storms of Jupiter, tapping into the planet's vast atmospheric energy through advanced wind turbines or even lightning collectors, though the engineering challenges would be immense and the energy supply unpredictable. Imagine a city that literally feeds on the planet's raging fury. What about the human element? Life in a perpetually enclosed environment with no solid ground, no natural sky, only the swirling, indifferent gas outside would exert unimaginable psychological pressure. The constant awareness of the void beneath, the endless storms, the sheer isolation of being a tiny bubble of life in an alien ocean. This would require revolutionary approaches to architecture, urban planning, and psychological support. Vast internal parks, simulated skies, and advanced virtual reality environments might be crucial to maintain sanity and a sense of connection to a more familiar world. Society would be small, intensely interconnected, and highly specialized. Every individual would have a critical role to play in the survival of the collective. The purpose of such cities? Why go to all this trouble? The scientific returns alone would be staggering. Unprecedented access to Jupiter's atmosphere would allow us to study its formation, its internal dynamics, its incredible magnetic field, and perhaps even the conditions that might lead to exotic, non-carbon-based life forms. These cities could become the ultimate observatories, providing humanity with a front-row seat to the origins of our solar system. They could also serve as vital way stations, fueling depots, and research outposts for deeper exploration into the outer solar system and beyond, leveraging Jupiter's immense gravity for slingshot maneuvers that would be impossible from Earth. There's also the tantalizing prospect of resource extraction. Jupiter contains vast quantities of hydrogen and helium, including the rare isotope helium-3, a potential fuel for future fusion reactors on Earth, making the immense investment potentially worthwhile in the long run. Building floating cities on Jupiter is not merely an engineering challenge, it is a declaration of intent, a bold statement about humanity's destiny among the stars. It would demand the ultimate collaboration, the most advanced technology, and a profound shift in our understanding of what it means to live. From a fragile blue marble, we would extend our reach into the heart of a gas giant, transforming an impossible dream into a breathtaking reality. The cost in resources and human ingenuity would be astronomical. But the reward, the expansion of our species into truly alien environments, the unlocking of cosmic secrets,